G'day guys, Josh here with my professional outfit on today. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. We got some big updates from you guys. Well, not from you guys, but from Lost Ark, from Smilegate, Amazon Games, and all those get jazz and dazzle, razzle, whatever. We got some updates, and they've said straight up that they're doing a Banwave next week on all the bots, which is a welcome update given the fact that their forums have been screaming about this for the last 4 weeks or so, and they're wondering when the bots would get banned because the queues were getting out of control. I mean, we had 17k queue on Mari. We had a 15k queue at one point on Voltan. I think it was actually a 27k queue on Mari, which is absolutely reprehensible, and I don't think anyone really is going to stand for it because people want to play the game. Now, if you guys referred to my last few videos where I said basically the main thing killing the game is the fact that there's actual queues, if the bots and stuff like that weren't noticeable, the queues would probably kill the game regardless, okay? Even if no one knew there was any bots, a 27k queue is probably going to get those people hopping onto Diablo Immortal, which I played yesterday, which I didn't enjoy too much at all, because I wanted to play more D3 rather than Diablo Immortal, which is crazy. But that's the, just a bit of a recap. Now, with their bot Banwave, okay, so now, basically, Rock's announced it on the forums, that they've got a script. Seems like they got a script together to ban all the bots. I guess it's going to catch some innocent people in the crossfire because they mentioned that it may catch innocent people, which I'm going to say probably will. And then I've put a separate team ready to address that. Now, this will definitely address some issues for a lot of people who have been screaming about the bots, a lot of people have been screaming about the queues, and this will nip to in the bud. Now, why is it good? Now, obviously, it's good because it means less queues, means more players can get in, and more gameplay can go ahead. Now, it's also finally that easy anti-cheat haven't been useless, and Amazon and Smilegate are actually doing something, and the theories of people saying that, they're just doing it to boost their player numbers are going right out the window because that's a bunch of poppycock, and I think everyone knew it was a bunch of poppycock from the begin with, but the crazed people who have no little emotional control never really saw it that way, okay? And then they believe that their way of it's a conspiracy theory, it must be right, okay? And there can't be any other aspects whatsoever. Now, there was a bit of a false dawn. They thought the Banwave was happening right away, as basically Steam went down for like half the people, and the numbers went down to 390, okay? And everyone's like, oh, that's right, 60% of bots, that's what it is, we were right all along. And I'm going to say right now, that would have been quite accurate given the fact every single person who's determined to say there's 700k bots and stuff like that would have been completely utterly wrong if there was 300k players, which means there's, a decent concurrent player base, and there might have been a bit more than 800k that they stated to China. But that was a false dawn. It was basically Steam going down. The game went back up to 600k players online pretty easily. Now, what is the bad side about announcing this? A lot of these Chinese gold sellers are going to probably move to gold different accounts, and they're going to try to obfuscate it so they make multiple different transactions, make it actually hard to track. Where the Amazon games tend to do like, oh, it's too hard to do. We get up to this point and we're done, and then they're going to be selling gold pretty quickly. That is one of the bad sides, okay? And that some of them are going to slip through the cracks. Obviously, getting innocent people banned as well. It's not ideal either. And also, the last part is that it actually is going to take a while for some of these bots to get back up to tier 3, even with the Express event. Like, it's going to take a bit of a while, and a lot of botting and a lot of infinite chaos dungeons to get those bots back to tier 3 and being able to grind that amount of mats, not just for themselves, but just to sell in general. And it'll be very, very rough for them to get back into business. I'd say probably take about 2 to 3 weeks, given they can be on 24/7 and just grinding mats non-stop. It'll take them quite a while to generate the mats to have a fully fledged tier 3 team. Now, this will likely also take out the hackers in the PvP events as well as the Guardian Raid events. So it'll be massive to see those guys go. Will PvP ever recover? Probably not. And will PvE recover? Well, it already has, and not much of this has been seen in Voltan or any other dungeons or high tier raids where the bots will just do 20 million damage and that's about it. Now, what also is good as well, the good thing as well is queues are less, ignorance is bliss obviously. If the bots didn't exist or the bots weren't not visible, this would be easy peasy if they got rid of them all. And actually would have been a big surprise to a lot of people that they existed. Not to me though. Now, a lot of people have been saying, bots are the biggest issue. There's bots in RuneScape. In fact, there's a 60% to 40% bot population in RuneScape. There's still bots in WoW. There's still bots in New World, for God's sake. I don't think the bots are the massive issue. They're in every single game. It may be the impact of the game, like Team Fortress 2 would have completely taken over the game. But that's besides the point. I don't think the bots were the issue. I think the queues were the issue. Again, queues of legitimate players wanting to actually get into the game. Now the misinformation, okay? First of all, the misinformation about 800k concurrent players. People have just thought that they took it off the Steam page and gave it to China. No game company does this, dude. No tournament organizer does this, okay? They mention the peak and that's it, okay? They mention a lot of different statistics. When I report my statistics to ESA Premier, there are 10 different statistics I got to support, which is like the time watched, the amount of unique viewers, highest, average, stuff like that, okay? That's what they want to know. They don't want to know just, oh, what's your game place now? Oh, it's 800k? Oh, okay, we'll give you $10 million. They don't do that, okay? And concurrent players is measured by a day average on a month. So basically, they take out 6-hour blocks of a day to see how many unique players are on, which I'm going to say right now, unless you're a bot, which they can easily detect if you're on 24/7, they'll basically be like, hey, this guy's not a legitimate player, and be able to cut them out very, very easily. Because the bots kind of stick out. It's not finding who the bots are sometimes. It's about how you can ban them reliably and keep banning them over and over again. So it's not like a band-aid approach. Now, a lot of people have suggested a band-aid approach. Band-aid approaches don't work. Stopping character creation, stuff like that, is just going to harm legitimate players. Effectively shooting yourself in the foot. Now, if I'm going to say right now, if you're just glancing the Steam charts and then you still post that picture of 700k and then maintenance and only 150k came back on, you're an absolute rube, okay? Just because only 150k people came back online doesn't mean that every single player in the player base was the only one to come back online. You got to realize that patch was released during primetime AE Australia, and there's probably a small population of Australia that do play it, and some people may have had to go to work. Not everyone is at home ready to go for Volta and day one the moment servers come up. So as I said, I think a safe estimate would be probably 200 to 250 players, and then the concurrent figure being 800k, probably being not that far off, because it is, without the bots included. I think that's a very good estimate of the player base. Because, if you get 250k in that quarter, probably get 200 another quarter, 180 another. 800k concurrent players is probably an accurate estimate of what they reported to China. They didn't mislead and deceive. If you think they misled and deceived, China would have requested a lot more data, which they did probably. More than Steam charts, okay? You guys got access to like one frame of Steam charts, and that's it. Smilegate and Amazon Games probably got a lot more access than you believe. And, a lot of you guys are just quoting this ad nauseum. You guys have no idea how statistics works. You don't have no idea how game development works. And all you do is just sit and bitch around on forums all day. That's pretty much education. Go and actually learn about this stuff before complaining about it in the forums and taking it as facts. So if you're on Reddit in the forums complaining and using these Steam charts, you're not very smart, okay? I'm going to put it out there. You're not very smart. You're not really digging deep into the numbers of the players. You're just skimming across the top like a pelican, okay? Now, overall, if they quoted that they had 2.4 million concurrent players, I'll be in your boat, because that's bullshit. Because you have 800k players online currently, and that means you're including the bots, okay? The 800 concurrent players they quoted is definitely not including the bots, okay? Because if you're getting 700k, in a 6-hour quarter, you're definitely getting more. You're getting over 1 mil, okay, if you include the bots. But they didn't. It's pretty obvious, because otherwise that concurrent figure would have been a lot higher than it is now. The next one is the losing integrity, okay? This leads to this. If Smilegate lied to China and they found out, then this is the worst part, if a sponsor finds out. Can you imagine Good Games and Amazon thinking about it at the moment, where they can actually exit out the game and be like, nah, we're not publishing anymore, and actually void their contract, because they could like check their fine-tooth comb to see if they've been lied to in the same way. Same with Good Games in Russia. Like, you guys realize that, like, if they're making a loss, like Amazon Games and Good Games Russia, and they lie to China, they'll go through their own contract. If there's a single line there, they'll void the contract, okay? And losing integrity like that is completely unnecessary, And not to mention as well, if they lie, no other publisher is going to come on board, no other sponsor is going to come on board, because they think they fit all the numbers, okay? Like, I mean, look at Facebook streaming, for example, okay? After the ESL scandal, where they, Facebook fluffed ESL's numbers to them, ESL went straight back to Twitch. And Nobody's ever gone to Facebook streaming ever again. Even the gamers, man. They still haven't recovered from it, man. So a loss of integrity is not a good idea. It's a quick, surefire way send your MMO into the ground. Okay, so they wouldn't do that. Okay, that's dumb. Now, another misinformation was from another guy who suspects an inside job from Smilegate. So, someone got the source code from the inside and is linking to the farmers. Don't think that's the case. I think it's the case of a bit more creative writing from some Redditors, okay? Very creative writing. Because bots are pretty easy to write, okay? They're not super hard. This game is not super hard to script, okay? You get a few keyboard tamers and you're done, okay? You can be on your merry way. Bots are highly sophisticated these days, guys, okay? The ones that are being used for Lost Ark aren't really highly sophisticated, okay? These can be done very easily. I mean, there's been a few bot farms shown on Reddit and the forums that have shown how easy it is. Like, they set up. Like, those are pretty basic bots to be set up. And that's because it is a basic game. Simply put, there's no complexion or complexity to it, to what they want to farm, which is to do infinite chaos dungeons, to do guardian raids. They've roughly got calculated a figure after, numerous data attempts of how much damage you actually have to do and what mobs, what things have to do to react to it, stuff like that. Not terribly too difficult. So I think people say it's an inside job is, a bit of more misinformation. Last point, there's supposed to be some gold printing strategy. That's what I read as well. The gold price was going down, so people suspecting there was some gold duping strategy. I've seen no proof of it yet, at all. So I think the gold prices were going down, not because of the duplication of gold, because that would increase supply. And then why would they decrease the, prices if they've, got gold printing? These Chinese gold companies don't care about the game. Okay, they want to make as much money as they can. And then when the game dies, they fuck off. That's pretty much it. It's what they did to New World. When they made their buck and it was not profitable, they left to go to a new game. I've talked to some of these gold farmers before. They, as I said before my other video, they were getting out of New World to go to Lost Ark, and then they went back to New World because Lost Ark was making them no gold. Okay? But then they went back to Lost Ark because it was making them a lot of gold. Because they figured out the new way. Now, I haven't heard anything about gold printing. All I've heard about is that they actually lessen the price of gold because they're expecting the band hammer to come up. Because they have a timetable of when they feel a company can develop anti-bot measures, okay? And they were thinking around about this time is that they're going to release a Banwave because they were very, very quiet on the banning front of bots. And they're expecting 2 to 3 weeks. That's what I heard. 2 to 3 weeks. And this is coming up to the end of the second week, okay? So they were expecting this. So the gold price been going down because seemingly they wanted to offload it, as per se. They wanted to offload it and get out, okay? Now, I'm not sure if they're going to get out the game completely. I highly doubt it because Lost Ark is actually semi-successful somewhat. And, I think they're still going to be, obviously, the bots and the gold farming and stuff like that. Now, someone actually told me that Diablo Immortal doesn't have any of this. They're lying. I played Diablo Immortal yesterday, and they have spamming in gold sellers everywhere. Like, in world chat, it's just non-stop spamming of gold sellers. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Hope you guys have a great day. See you guys later. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I enjoyed being with you guys today. You guys are awesome. Bye.